long podcast.
What you know about me, bro? Hard in the game, gonna make it name. Leaving my mark, I'ma leave my stain.
I edit everything, record it all on the fucking.
Got Supreme hat, Supreme clothes, best breezy, fuck yeah. So fresh,
We'll just start right here. Do you go by Jeffy O or just Jeffy?
Jeffy obvious, Jeffy O.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. That's why I was like, fuck,
Jeffy obvious?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? How come it's obvious?
It was a graffiti thing.
Oh yeah?
My crew stayed in the obvious. So when I started like making music, venturing into music, I just took the name from the crew and
Jeffy obvious.
yeah.
That's why I wasn't sure. I seen Jeffy O before, so I was like, is it Jeffy O or obvious?
I mean, that's what people call it. Like, I've never had anybody walk up and be like Jeffy obvious. All my years of doing this, but Jeffy O just kind of.
It's like them saying your government name. You're like, wait, what? Why are you saying obvious? But this is another episode of Annoying Neighbors. We got Jeffy Obvious,
What's
or
up?
Jeffy O, whatever you want to call him. Some people know him by Jeffy O, but it's pretty interesting having you on, man. Just because I did like research on you, and like you do a shitload of things.
Yeah, man.
That's why when you're showing up late, I was like, dude, take your time, man. Like you're a busy man.
Like California traffic.
Yeah, and you're in fucking you're in
Bakersfield?
Bakersfield. Why is that?
I like the location. It's Central California. 2 hours from LA, 2 hours from the 805, 3 from the Bay, 3 from Vegas. Like, it's just really easy to get around. And we don't just stick to Ventura County with events, so we pedal everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So
you're just literally everywhere with everything, so it's just more convenient on your end.
yeah. And plus, I've been going to Bakersfield since I was like in high school, so I have a lot of friends out there. And
Okay.
we do events out there from time to time, and you know what I mean? So we're pretty tapped in with the city.
There's a cool scene out there?
Hell yeah, the live show scene in Bakersfield is gradually growing. I've been saying it.
Is it because of you?
Nah. Shout out to Definite Growth, the Kitchen Grind, everybody in Bakersfield who those events, Pablo, et cetera. But I've been saying it. Give it a couple years, and Bakersfield is going to be a hot spot for live music in California. I'm calling it.
Yeah? Is it a place that's growing, you think, or what?
Oh yeah, it's always growing. It's shit. Even from back in the day when I would go up there was houses and whatnot. But there's 17 high schools alone in Bakersfield.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's gradually
Isn't it big
growing.
with the college
never
scene
imagined.
too? The college?
Yeah.
Scene?
They have the university and then the community college out there. So it's just Bakersfield's growing, man. So it definitely doesn't get the credit it deserves. I'm not originally from there, but shout out to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
All I know is corn. I'm out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't
They
know
got
that.
their own street named after them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because you're originally from Piru, or where's
Yeah.
that? Where's that at?
it's on the borderline of Ventura and LA County. It's
Okay.
like 20 minutes from Magic Mountain.
But
Yeah, I grew up in Ventura County, Ventura Oxnard area, and that's kind of where I got just my whole flavor from.
yeah, because I was tripping out because you do a lot of stuff in Oxnard.
Yeah.
So why is that? Like, what's like the scene out there? Is it just because you know a lot of people, or are you trying to get Oxnard known, or what is it?
It's honestly an interesting story, man. Growing up, I started as a musician first.
Yeah.
So, just live shows and whatnot, bouncing around, you kind of see what the scene is lacking. But shout out to my OGs. They were holding shit down when I was coming up. And then I would say like 2016-ish, we started throwing shows at Fresh Mex in Oxnard on like a regular basis, and we've sold this venue out countless times and just kind of really brought like a new feel to the 805 hip hop world. And then we ended up actually like building bridges with the originators, like Altered State Refinery, all the OGs that were doing shit when we were coming up. We ended up partnering up, and it just became this whole like gap between like the age groups, you know what I mean? So I think that's why it was so successful, and it caught wind, man. For a while, like it was just people from LA, San Diego, et cetera, were like, we need to get to Oxnard for shows. So it just became its own little something, you know?
Before you continue, did you want us to wear the shirts during the podcast? I totally forgot about that.
If you want to, man.
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
I'm just glad y'all finally got them. Like,
yeah, because I thought about it, I was like, wait, fuck, I remember we talked about that, like, throw them on real quick.
Yeah, y'all one of the first, man. We actually just got those, like, finalized and ready to go this week, so.
And you said it was like a rap group too? Because of this?
It used to be. The Gutted Cigar started as a group, 5 MCs and a DJ.
The little one?
That's for Lexus.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, man. The new TGC Dodger joints just dropped. We're actually doing like a custom thing with any sport team you want. We can just customize the jerseys for you.
For real?
Baseball, football, basketball, and just
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the new fucking drop.
Like this.
You have your own print shop?
No. Shout out to Irie Apparel. They're like our clothing company and whatnot.
Yeah.
They
All right,
do
hell
their own
yeah.
thing, but they do all our gear as well.
Yeah. That's fucking fire.
Why the Gutted Cigar? Like, how'd you come up with the name?
I was a teenager when all this shit started. I started doing shows and shit by like 16, and I was sneaking into clubs in LA and shit to perform.
Yeah.
And I ended up linking with another group out of my area, Westward, and when we kind of, put it all together, we needed a name. And I smoke a lot of weed, so it just sounded cool to me. I didn't even think about like the logos and everything that was like marketable after. It was just like, yo, the Gutted Cigar. Like, what is that? Fucking blunt wrap. Like,
Yeah.
It's the blunt rap shit. And yeah.
You said you used to be a musician? What did you used to play, or what did you do?
I used to MC, but that eventually evolved into making beats, et cetera, et cetera. I kind of dabbled. I've been doing this shit for 11 years now. And I kind of picked up a little bit of everything from, the music production, film production, web design. You know what I mean? I taught myself a little bit of everything. I actually attended the LA recording school, and
for real?
You know what I mean?
I
put my whole fucking.
You graduated there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To like record like video?
Oh no, from music production.
Oh, music production?
Engineering.
Yeah.
Oh, for hell yeah.
Yeah, because what I got written down, you're a music creator, marijuana enthusiast, promoter, event planner, artist, management and development, and chola connoisseur, owner of Gutted Cigar, and you started everything as a rap group. So I seen one of your music videos. I can't recall the name, but like, what made you? You said like at 16 you started doing everything, right?
Yeah.
Doing events.
So
like, what made you want to just start doing events? It was just to put on the younger crowd, or?
That was actually just a random idea. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. When I was like 18 was when I threw my first event, and this is a really like notable show for me because I booked Self Provoked when he had just dropped the Silly Rabbit video. So he was just coming up. I think he probably brought like 20 people out to the show that night. You see him these days selling out venues and stuff. So it was a cool show on that note. The homie Paz one had just came home, so he started doing shit again. So we had Paz one on the bill. I brought out some like retired rappers from, when I was growing up, got them to come back and do some shit. And so 18 was kind of just like whoa, we could fucking do this shit.
Wait, is there anything like special like about the shows you throw that make it kind of like unique to you, like oh shit, like
it's not limited to hip hop. It's not limited to music, I should say. We kind of really go heavy with the vendor villages and include models and live art and et cetera to make it more of like
it's like a kind of like a big like event, like a festival kind of like.
I like to think of it as like a swap meet.
Like a swap meet.
Like a swap meet.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's fucking everything, you know what I mean? And we don't ever charge vendors, so that's one of the things about us. It's like whoever wants to participate in the event, just come the fuck out,
Yeah.
We're not limited to anything. Like we started a festival thing that we were doing for a while called Con Todo, with everything, and it was based around food competitions between local food spots. And,
really?
Yeah, and then we did like the model thing. What do you call it? I'm gonna blank on the fucking name right now, but where they dress up in like cartoon characters and stuff.
Like anime?
Cosplay.
Yeah. So including things like cosplay and comedy and beat battles, DJ battles,
that's
like
tight.
Just whatever we can get in there, like we throw it into the mix, and it's just it's like a culture clash,
Yeah. But like, what makes you? Do you have like a team, or is this all your ideas? You're like, fuck it, we're gonna have everything, or?
We have a team of people. Like, I like to think of the Gutted Cigar as an umbrella term because I really could not do this shit on my own. But we have people from different companies, like Irie Apparel holds down our clothing, Altered State Refinery holds down our sound. Fresh Mex normally provides venues, whatever we need as far as that goes. The Money Tree, Laugh Mob, we got arcade machines wrapped with our logos that we'll bring out to
Damn,
events.
bro.
You know what I mean? So, shout out to Laugh Mob and, you know, just everybody who contributes to this. And then we do a lot of collaboration, too. So when we come to different cities, you know what I mean? You might see us go to Vegas and work with the homegirls from Omni Modeling, do, like, the fashion shows. But all based around whatever we could squeeze into the fucking venue. Whatever the venue allows, I'm down for it, you know?
That's
dumb,
dude. Yeah. Dude, you're a fucking hardworking man. What has you, like, so determined, though? Like, what motivates you to keep on going? Because everything you're saying, I would probably get anxiety with all that fucking, like, you have to do this, that, set up this.
It's stressful.
Yeah, because you got, like, another, I seen your list, you got Sugar Free coming up. That's one event. And the other one's coming up, too.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you stay so determined to keep going with this?
We see a lot of good come from it. To be honest, like, we see a lot of fucking good come from this shit. And when we're able to do, you know, the obvious contributions every year, like the toy drives and camp food drives and school supply drives, but we're also able to kind of gear some of our events. Like, we've done women empowerment events for the homegirls, like just all female everything. And then we've done anti-gun violence events. We've, you know, just there's like a whole community behind it, you know what I mean? And I just, you know what I mean? When you start as an artist, you get to float through your local music scene and see the holes. You know what I mean? You see the shows that tank. You see the shows that are successful. You see, you know, what the artists are doing with their marketing and how they're pushing albums and getting merch out, whatever. But you start to see the holes and you start to realize, like, there's never really opportunities for all these people to be in the same room at once.
Yeah.
So just doing that, they fill the holes. You know what I mean? They're the motherfuckers that really tie it together. So it's a community effort, and I don't know, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
so how do I stay determined? It's like that. It's like every day you're fucking reminded, and then plus just being fucking you know, now being friends with some of my fucking heroes growing up. You know what I mean? Like,
and seeing another person that's rising, getting to know them before they blow up too. So that's also sick.
But it's like little things. Like a cool story is like when we worked with Master Ace. This shit was dope because he was on tour. One of his tour show dates fell out, and he's like, well, I need to fill this date. Somebody fucking referred him to me. So to get that call, you're like, how the fuck am I even on, you know, this is a legend in hip hop. Like, how am I on homie's radar? And getting to work out to help him continue his tour while just kind of, you know, doing something for the county. You know what I mean? Some last minute, like 2 weeks beforehand, we're like, hey, yo, guess what? Surprise. Fucking $10 show. Let's roll up. And that kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's such a, like, self-satisfying fucking life. And and
also you get to work with, like, music still, because you said that you started doing music, and I remember you saying that you kind of lost the love for it once it started feeling like a job.
Definitely.
So, like, this right here is more like, it's not a job, you're, like, having fun doing all this.
Yeah. And
so, like, you're still in the music scene in a sense.
What that was when I finished college, I left. I was sick of, I was living in North Hollywood at the time. I was, like, fucking drowning in rent and fucking had a fucking...
Were you living by yourself?
No, I had roommates. That was the even crazier part. We had 4 people living in, like, a 1-room fucking apartment. Just fucking, you take the couch.
What were you doing at the time?
I was going to college.
By no job, or you just getting, like, the money from the college?
I had I think I was working at, like, Pizza Hut or some shit at the time. So going to school, had a fucking little part-time job. Just fucking, you know, going through it. I'm still doing shows and shit. I'm still doing 4 or 5 shows a month, and you know what I mean?
During that time?
Yeah. And I used to do the battle rap shit. It was just a lot.
Sick.
It was a lot, bro. I had everything. I just wanted to rap at all times. So it got to a point where I was like, this just ain't hitting the way it was, you know? So I decided to pack up my shit, and I fucking left my goal was to get to New York. I was like, I'm gonna backpack to New York, whatever I could fit in my car, I'm fucking out.
But why is New York, though? Like, that was just...
Because I wanted to stop in every state along the way, and it was just like a thing, like, I gotta make it to the East Coast. I've never been to the East Coast. Like, mind you, I come from a town of, like, 3,500 people. Like it's a small fucking town. So
This is the Peru, or
yeah.
Okay.
So when I start to break out, I'm like, cool, I made it to LA. There's a lot more people here, but it's still not. Yeah, I'm like, I need to see something, you know.
Yeah, you still want to learn more about it, like
So-
new things.
But you're so young though, bro. Like,
But
look,
this is,
talk-
I was like 21, 22 at this time.
but still, like, there's so many people that are like 20 years old that don't even leave their like county.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so like you're just so like fuck it, like you're so driven at a young age, and now
So, check it out. I stopped in Louisiana. I got family out there. My aunt owns an old strip club.
Damn.
They're about to go out of business. She's like, I can't keep the fucking lights on. Do you want to do something here before we close up shop? So I threw a show in Lake Charles, Louisiana on a fucking whim. I just did my homework, like whoever I could find on social media, boom, you on a show. And it just hit. And the whole city fucked with it. And the shit was just packed out. And I remember just like my aunt fucking getting, because she kept every dollar from that. I was like, yo, I'll just throw a show for my aunt. I'm here. You know what I mean? And she was like, yo, do you want to do this again? We ended up keeping her spot open for like another year.
damn, thanks to you.
Yeah, just on some like random show shit. But then, you know, other promoters started getting involved. It just started growing from there. And But while I was out there, I linked with a little indie label, and they ended up picking me up. So I was signed with Logo Musico, and this is my first time having management and not having to worry about, you know, because as an independent artist, like, you're essentially doing fucking everything. You're booking your shows, you're signing your contracts. That is all you. You're leasing everything. This is you.
And do you think that is because like you went to like an area that didn't have like a popping scene, and that you kind of like made it happen?
Yeah, that was definitely a thing. And I started to move around the South with this indie label now, and I'm starting to see other scenes and realizing like, yo, like, there's so many different kinds of people out here, and so many like Louisiana, for example, like, they're big on the trap scene, but they're really big on like jig music, which is essentially their version of twerk music. This is that biggity. Yeah, like that is their shit. In New Orleans, they have a bounce, they have a fucking a whole just swag to them that is just so foreign to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having to open my mind to different kinds of music and learn about different subcultures within this hip hop shit, like, I'm like, yo, people would love this. Like, now I really know how to patch together a show. Like, the lineup where I'm like, yo, this is like, it's like, you know, you're an artist, so you know this. Like, when you're putting together an album, you're like, hey, this is gonna be the track list, and you're like, I'm gonna flip into this track, and then fucking go ahead a little
Give
intro,
them this song, get them used to this, and then change it up with this. Yeah.
There's a whole art to just the you know, format of your fucking album, but it's the same with setting a lineup. And I learned a lot of that shit from just traveling, seeing what went wrong at shows. There's been shows that I've done, like Lafayette, Louisiana. We did an event, and the promoter kind of fucked up on his time. So 3-4 artists on the lineup didn't get to perform that night.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, in California, like, people take offense to that.
Yeah, hell yeah, we were
Live show.
pissed. Fuck yeah. If I show, not, yeah.
But I was one of these artists, one of the 4. So me, Philly Doja, this cat Louis Leo, and Swelly, we took artists that we that didn't get to perform that night to the parking lot and played music out the car and had a whole crowd in the parking lot vibing. And I was like, we kept the fucking party alive, and that shit is just,
After hours right there.
right? And it was just as fucking hype as inside the fucking venue. Like, nobody was tripping. And that's when I was like, yo, like, you can really make anything fun, man.
Yeah.
You could make anything fun. You got an empty parking lot, you could do a lot with a fucking little, you know.
So
Make
you think
something out of nothing.
you think
Real
like
talk.
your end goal for anything is like fuck, I'm gonna do what I can to make this fun, like to make like whatever.
That was it.
There's a I don't know. Have you ever heard of a comedy show called Kill Tony?
Mm-mm.
It's like this comedy show that do at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
And what I've been trying to learn, because I'm trying to do like solo music, right? And
Okay.
right now I have an acoustic guitar, but it's like I can't see myself doing a whole show and entertaining it just with acoustic music, because I'm used to all different types of styles. But then I've seen like this show, and it's a comedy show where they judge like coming up comedians.
Mm-hmm.
But as the show goes on, he's always allowing any weird, crazy shit to happen and actually pushing for it.
Yeah.
Because it's like the entertaining thing, you know? And it's like it takes away from the structure, but it's like, it's different, and it's like in the moment, and it's like, dude, this is entertainment. This is like the live thing that you should go for. It's like to make it as fun, not just like, oh, I'm gonna make an acoustic show and just look at me. It's like, no. So I've been trying to look into like playing acoustic music and then mixing it in with like live beats. And even trying to like, oh, maybe say like some fucking jokes or a story and not have it just be this whole one thing, you know?
Definitely.
Like a mix-up, how like you're kind of saying with all the shit that you put in together, like.
Yeah, and that's the fun is there's no limit to this shit. And like when you start to learn this, you start learning things about marketing and, you know, just how what people are going to like. And like, think about it this way. We as people are consumers. At the end of the day, we're all buying something from someone, whether that's a Pro Club out the corner store or a fucking beer on your way home. Like, we are all consuming something. We know what we like. We know what people like. And it's just, again, it's so dope to see because we have a very, like, open dynamic with our following and shit. And they tell us what they want. Like, a lot of times they're like, yo, my uncle got a fucking blah, blah, blah. Like, let's get the mechanical bull out. Let's, like, you know what I mean?
Because it'll be fun.
That's,
like,
that's the shit. And we have a very open dynamic. It's a community effort. Like I said, at the end of the day, I can never in a million years take 1,000% of the credit for, you know, everything that we've done and things we've got to do. And doors it opened us up to, like, you guys familiar with Thought Fest?
What is it?
Thought Fest, the Happiness and Pursuit Festival?
No.
I don't think so, yeah.
We actually started working with the homie 60 East. He does a fucking big festival out here every year called the Happiness and Pursuit Festival. I'm actually gonna pull this flyer up because I want y'all to see this bill.
Yeah,
that's coming up soon.
Yeah, October 2nd.
Okay.
But it's super hip hop related, and the beauty of this festival is everybody that's like a part of it that helps with stage management, that'll be running the inside. Everybody that's working the event are all promoters from around Southern California. Oh, nice. So you have like Showcase 626, who's big out in the SGV. You have Platform Collection from San Diego. You have Brick to Your Face from the IE. You have
that's Noah James, right?
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Noah, man. That's my dude.
Yeah, I really want to get him on too.
Word.
I met him one time way back. Yeah.
That was a fucking walking fucking vibe, bro.
He's just always happy. He's just always
be dropping game though. Like,
just bro.
No matter where you're at, you be at fucking Denny's or some shit. And he's just dropping gems on you, bro. Like, he's just a walking fucking vibe, bro. Like, we gotta protect Noah James at all fucking costs, bro. Real talk.
That's one of the shows that I told you where I wanted to rap, but I couldn't. I didn't get on stage.
Yeah.
And then that's when because I used to rap too.
Okay.
But then that scene right there, I met Sanity and Danny Ganja.
Dope.
And fucking, I seen how perfect the way they rap, yeah. And I went to Noah James. I got on the fucking list, and I was about to rap, and I couldn't do it, bro. I got anxiety.
Damn.
And that's when I told like myself, I gotta stop making music. I gotta find something else.
Nah, man.
Because I couldn't get that out of the way. Like, it's like, dude, you need to perform.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just telling them right now, we're actually doing it. We're like making songs, and I was trying to tell them like you just have to keep doing it. I've been doing it, like singing and shit, for like 15 years. Okay. And I was like, and I didn't get good or like confident till like after 10, but it was because like the whole time, like as I did it and I failed in my brain, I was like, oh shit, that didn't work. This worked, and it connected. Yeah. And then something new came along, and it's like, oh, that didn't work. This works. Yeah, and eventually just like fucking builds up to where like, now I get it. Mm-hmm. But it took me all this fucking trial and error.
Definitely. And the nerves never go away, bro.
No.
That's some real shit. But
I used
you
to
learn
drink
to
a
work
lot.
with them though.
Yeah.
You learn to use them to your advantage, and I think that's the it's dope, man. It's an adrenaline rush, but I don't know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, bro.
A live show setting is different, and
it's so hard.
To be honest though, like, a lot of artists don't even perform these days. Like, there's some people that don't do shows at all. Like, they're strictly, dropping albums for the streams or TikTok and whatever they're doing. There's so many different outlets for music.
It's like streaming is like,
that's like the new thing.
Like a well enough thing to just get by with.
Yeah, and there's people who make music specifically for movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't all need to be in a live show setting, but to me, that's my favorite part.
No, that's
that's your favorite part, performing?
Bro, it's just,
that's what I would always tell people is like, dude, music, I'm in it for the live. Like, I want to figure out just how to be on the stage. Like, that's the shit to me.
Yeah,
dude.
I love it, bro.
So what advice would you give someone that wants to be a event planner? Like, do you have any strategies that you want to give out? Because it looks fun, but I feel like a lot of people, I mean, at least I don't. I never thought about like, oh, I'm gonna fucking throw an event and have people come out, you know? So like, what would you give any tips for someone that wants to do that?
Don't break your pockets. A lot of people think the more money you spend, the more money's gonna come back, and that's not always the case. So be smart with your finances. Make sure it all makes sense on not only on paper, but in your pocket. Because you can't continue to do this. Like you can't, like if losing $200 here and there might not seem like such a bad thing, but essentially it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you don't want to go broke trying to, continuously put together events. You have to find what works for you, but make sure it makes sense financially so you can continue to do this. It's one of those you can't pour from an empty cup type things, you know what I mean? But be transparent with your community. That's a huge one, man. Let everybody know exactly what role they play in this shit, because they'll surpass your expectations every time. If you just give them some room to work, man. I think there's way too many restrictions in the way we put together events, and that's what. You ever been to like an amphitheater show and it's just not fun because the security was a little too aggressive? There's fucking way too many people. You can't order a drink at the bars. Like, you know what I mean? Little things like these are like, it's very agitating and you don't even realize it sometimes. But be open with people. Let them provide some dope shit to the fucking thing, and just. Yeah, do it for the right reasons.
What was it in like your first event or that you threw or whatever that made you like change your shift from making the music to making the events?
All right, so when I linked with that indie label, they were holding me down on the management side of things, but it was also holding me down from doing things. Like I wanted to do events and shit. I remember one year I wanted to set up a toy drive, and when they told me we can't do that because we have other shit going on or whatever. I don't remember what they told me. And it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Shout out, I don't want to bash nobody on here because that's not the kind of dude I am, but there was goods and bads that came with the label, and I'm still great friends with a lot of them to this day just from the goods that came from it. But I left back to Cali in like 2016 with the intention of just doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? When somebody tells you like, nah, you can't do this, and this is probably not a good idea, like eventually it just kind of puts a chip on your shoulder, you know what I mean? And that's not healthy to just walk around and just, you know what I mean? Like don't let the people around you stunt your growth, because the right community is going to grow with you, as we've seen with events and whatnot. You grow with your community, you know what I mean? And it's important to just have the right people around you. So when I came back to Cali, I ended up linking with my team, with Irene, with Irie, with Ultra State Refinery, with all these people who fucking encouraged me to be different. You know what I mean? They're like, it's one of those things, bro. Like sometimes like when you've been to a venue so many times, you're like, I don't want to go no more. You're like, it's the same. It starts feeling like the same show every time, no matter how good the vibe is. So you have to change shit, and little things make a huge difference, even if it's moving the stage to the other side of the room. You know what I mean? Like you can create an environment that seems different every time. It doesn't have to be the same show. And these are things that, I'm able to really fucking learn just being around creatives in general. You know what I mean? Like it's dope, man.
That's sick.
Are you very have you always been a pretty like selfless person? It seems like you're very
really humble.
You really give back.
It comes with the hair.
It's the small town shit though. I grew up in a small town, so it was like a community. Like my parents worked a lot, so a lot of times if I was hungry or needed help with my homework, I would go down the street. Like shout out to Alva's Market, man. This little liquor store down the street pretty much raised me growing up, but you would catch me as a kid doing my homework in the middle of the liquor store. Like,
that's crazy.
But I grew up in a community that was like very we looked out for each other, you know what I mean? Like sure we had our bads too, but for the most part, it was as easy as walking next door if you needed something to eat or just needed someone to talk to, needed to get away. Like,
Yeah.
it was the whole community. And I'm a 90s baby, so you know what it was like back in the day. Like, you didn't need to call nobody. You just walk down the street and you would run into every single friend you knew.
Yeah.
Or every neighbor. Everybody
Exactly.
you needed to see was on one fucking route. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
I grew up the same way. Yeah.
yeah, so
How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
30. All right.
hmm So
You're exactly born on 90, huh?
mhm.
Yeah, because I'm born in 93. I just turned 28.
Okay, word.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So as far as being like selfless, I feel like it's just a trait fucking instilled by the upbringing. Yeah.
So would you say like having that trait? Because I've dealt with this because I've always been like the one that helps people as well.
Mhm.
But then you also run into people that like abuse that or like take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know, do you come across that a lot since you're working with a lot of people, events, and like
Well,
pretty much a bunch of handouts? Like, oh, come on, like
I have a tattooed on my hand.
what?
This is like my life motto. When this on my right hand, it's the first thing I want people to see when they shake my hand is what I give to you is a gift to me.
Oh, okay, dope.
If I do something for you, it's not because I expect something in return. It's not because I feel I owe you something. It's because that shit genuinely made me feel good. If I saw something good in you and wanted to pass on some love, that's what it is. So I think a lot of people do grow like stubborn or just kind of they grow away from love when, you know, people do try to abuse their kindness. But I mean, there was a reason you did it. There was a reason you held the door open for somebody, or you know what I mean. And it's as easy as that. I don't know if I explained that right, but
No,
Yeah,
that's
you
good,
did,
dude. I'm
yeah.
gonna cry right now.
yeah. But that's what it is.
Are you really
man.
gonna cry?
No, it
Oh,
it
shit, I was
really
like,
goes.
damn.
It goes a lot with something that shit has been happening a lot with me, and it was like
Yeah.
like even because I've been learning because I've had trouble with drugs and shit, and a lot of like I've been learning through like AA and shit is just like a lot of people who overcome it is just like by doing good things for people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just like that.
Replacing the addiction, man.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like, especially when you realize it doesn't take much to make somebody's day, bro. A simple hello can make somebody's day. A simple
Exactly.
conversation, some words of encouragement. I feel like people, what is the word? Seeking. I've been having this conversation with myself a lot lately. But seeking validation. We put such a negative connotation on seeking validation, but you know how good it feels to be reassured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To have somebody tell
Yeah.
you, "Yo, you're doing good."
Yeah.
Like, that shit's a drug in itself, bro.
Exactly,
Like, you
yeah.
fucking hype somebody up about themselves, they'll do amazing fucking things. And
Yeah.
I feel like we got really lazy in that regard as people. We're like, I'm going to hype myself up. I'm going to work on self-care. I'm going to work
Yeah.
on this. But again, we grow with the community. It's important that we give people their roses where it's deserved, you know what I mean? And
It's good karma.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, one thing I thought was cool about just the whole year off with the COVID thing was I started doing the Instagram live interviews. I did like a little under 200 interviews within like a 1 year span with local businesses to rappers, professional boxers, people who just went to college and didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do with their lives. Like, literally anybody who had a story, and I just listened.
Yeah.
And I took the time to actually listen to people.
What'd you put for Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the majority are posted on my page, but Instagram had a weird change. But I have every single interview from the last year fucking on my hard drive and shit. And that's something I'm going to eventually put out as a podcast or something. But
Dope.
Oh,
it's
hell
stuff that happened during COVID. You know?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be called the Gutted Cigar Podcast or?
No, it was called Blunt Ed with Jeffy O.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had Blunt Ed, and then we did the Med Talk.
Blunt Ed.
The Med Talk segments where we would have people send in their music and let the people in the comments decide if that shit was fire or not.
Yeah.
But
That's
give
sick.
people criticisms and all of that good shit. And again, I'm really blessed to know a lot of fucking talented fucking people, and I feel like I've been doing this long enough to where I know who to build with in each city I go to.
Mhm.
Like, you start to read people, and you're like,
The
yo,
vibe.
like, you create fucking you create relationships with people, and those relationships reflect in the work. And no matter where you go, like, I've never been to a venue that's like, we don't want to have you back. You know what I mean? Shit, we've been to venues where they're like, event's not even over yet, they're like, we want to set you up on a fucking yearly contracts, six
for real?
events in a year, or hey yo, you want to set up a monthly, you wanted this, you wanted that. Like people love the fucking energy, and that's why
That's how it works too. They give you contracts where you like have to do 6 in a year or something.
Different deals with different venues, you know. But
I've always wondered like what's behind all that. That's why, because you know how Ezel he be doing shows.
Oh yeah.
But I always trip out how he has like that power, like where you can like.
It's always him throwing the shows there.
Yeah, they have to contact you to get on the list, and then I need VIP or backstage and stuff like that.
There's always a lot of politics within.
That's why I'm so interested, like all the stuff that you do, because it's something that is really important, but you're not like the face of everything.
Yeah.
Obviously the artist, but like you're the most important thing out of all that.
Definitely
the backbone.
My logos are more popular than I am. Everybody sees the cigar characters, and
you have your own logo too.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah.
But it's that's another cool part about it is like people come to the shows and they're like, I'm looking for the blunt. I'm like,
oh really? Damn. Oh, he's over there.
Yeah. So sometimes I'm like, it's tight though. It's really dope.
Yeah.
But we speaking of events, this is one that I feel like really embodies like all these messages, because they did what everybody talks about wanting to do when they're like, I don't want to get everybody in Southern California together, throw this huge fucking festival. We've all been talking about that forever. So the Homie 60s finally made it happen. This is like the 5th annual, I believe.
Okay.
But October 2nd in Ontario at Firewater Bar, they got Evidence, Rock Marciano, Dizzy Wright, Lighter Shade of Brown, fucking Chino XL, all the way down to the Villain Parks. We're gonna be doing a set. We're bringing some of our artists out. But yeah, like these festivals, like if you're an artist in Southern California, like I highly, highly encourage you to come out, because like I said, everybody who helps run the event are all promoters from all the different regions in Southern California. We're based out the 805, so we work the event.
She's like, what was that?
But again,
my bad. I was writing all this shit down.
The Noah Jameses, the Ill Spot, Showcase 626, Platform Collection, just all these different people that you need to know. Like you need to know these are the people that
to make the right connections.
These are the people that do the shows. Like if you want to go on a tour, everybody you need to know is right here.
Yeah.
Like go talk to the homies and
October 2nd, we're there.
I'm telling you, man. From San Diego to the 805 and everywhere in the middle.
Speaking about tours, I heard like you were saying that you traveled like 16 or like 20 states already.
26 states in
26,
the US.
Yeah. So was that on tour or?
More just like solo one-off shows. But again, when I was with that label, I was based out of Lafayette, Louisiana. So 3 hours from Houston, like 5 from Dallas, 3 from New Orleans, 9 from Atlanta. Like I'm in the middle of fucking everything. So I started building those contacts, and with the label we got to do like major festivals. Like we did the South by Southwest thing.
That's big.
You know what I mean? So we've gotten to move around and just see everything, but a lot of it was just kind of on my own type shit. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, I want to fucking... So I did finally make it to New York to finish that. But yeah, I did finally make it to New York, but I ended up fucking around in a little bit of everything in the middle. And
what do you mean, like kind of fucked off a little bit?
No, I made shit work for myself.
Oh, okay.
I made shit work for myself. It was the first time I was able to buy a car off the lot with rap money.
Damn, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was a fucking little Chevy Cruze. I'm not gonna hype it up like
but,
it was
but
a whole
still,
thing.
that's something,
But I
bro.
fucking,
like,
yeah, you know what I mean?
Driving off with just like maybe 50, 70
Yeah,
miles.
on some
you're
shit.
like, hell yeah.
And I feel like
And you went with your own ride, right?
yeah.
You didn't like take a plane to
No.
You drove from Cali all the way to Louisiana, and then from there New York.
Well, yeah. I made
Something
it to
like
New
that,
York,
yeah.
but
So what'd you do with that car? You just like gave it away. You're like, here, fucking take it. Like,
no, I still got that whip.
You still got it?
Still got that whip.
You pulled up in it right now?
No. I'm driving it today, but
This is live.
I still got that fucking whip, and it's just like one of those things. Like I don't think I would ever sell that car just because.
Because there's a lot of memories and shit. Yeah, that's sick.
But
That's crazy.
that was the first time with rap money, and I feel like that's what we all want. We all want to just see that this shit is a viable. Like we're not wasting our fucking time. You know what I mean? And I feel like as an artist, like that's really tugging at fucking heartstrings because this shit takes time. So it takes so much time to bring this shit to life that if you know what I mean. I'm good, but you know how long it takes to make an album. Imagine getting to the end of your album and then being like, to find out, yo, this is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Like, that's really tugging at heartstrings. That's a lot of time invested, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and fucking nights, man. I'm just going to say sleep. A lot of sacrifice, sleep to bring this shit to life. So to feel that you're wasting your time on that is just, it fucks with you, you know? So to see little accolades, like, life is all about the fucking little things. I feel like people want to be fucking the next Drake so bad that they forget, like, yo, just being able to pay your rent is fucking beautiful. Being able to do your tours, like, market your music, to press up your own merch, to, like, you're doing everything that you wanted to do right the fuck now. And you choose not to acknowledge it because it's not at the
superstar.
Yeah, you haven't hit your ceiling yet. You're like, this is, you know what I mean? And you should always hold on to that hunger, but yo, like, reward yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't forget to have fun with this shit. Like, understand, like, it's a lot of time invested. The least you could do is fucking smile through it, bro. The least you could do is smile through that shit.
I feel like the new I want to call out the whole new generation, but there's a lot of people that are new into music that expect it right now.
Yeah.
And they don't know that you have to, like, put that sacrifice, all that music, all that work.
But they also see, they're constantly fed the cats that shot up fast. You know what I mean? The kid that nobody knew, but he had a fucking hit single that fucking went all over the world, and he shot up, and he can get up there and say, yo, it all it took me was one song. Like,
kind of like, I think Lil Nas is like that, right?
But they have false perception of how fast this shit. You know what's a good story is we did a show with Post Malone at South by. So he had just rocked the fucking that White Iverson record, and everybody in the crowd knew this song, bro. It's in Texas, so he's from Texas. So everybody in the crowd knew this song because it was on local radios. But it wasn't until like a year later that I finally heard that song come on, like, fucking it really showed me how long it takes for a fucking record to pop off sometimes. Like, it took that song a good year and a half to even fucking hit national syndicates. You know what I mean? So, again, sometimes, like, I think motherfuckers are gonna be surprised when some of their songs that they did back in 2004 are gonna be the ones that pop off. You know?
Like, it was like that one rapper.
There's no timestamp on a fucking song, man. Like, shit, we all listen to Hotel California. You know? Like, there's no timestamp on a song. So people need to realize, like, your time isn't wasted. You're literally investing into something that is fucking, like, there's no lifespan on music.
Exactly.
So it's crazy, man. But yeah,
I feel like that one rapper, OT Genesis, is like, I think he freestyled that one song, Bitch You Guessed It. But before that, he tried on a lot of songs, like actually rapped. And that's the only one that popped off. And he was like, what the fuck? The song that I just literally bullshitted fucking got the fucking, most plays.
Yeah.
So you never know what's gonna blow up or not.
But people just see the success story, so they really have like a false perception on the time that it takes. I guess it's not of what they're seeing, because, like, obviously these people are fucking living somewhat of glamorous lifestyles to even be, but the time that it takes to get to that point, or you know what I mean, they're just. And with the internet, you can pop off overnight. Yeah. Like, shit, you know how many videos go viral? Yeah. I fucking said some shit on Twitter one day, and I was like bugging. I have like 1,000 followers on Twitter. I don't really use Twitter like that, But I said something about, like, weed shops. The weed shops in Ventura County bought a bunch of beds for, like, the homeless shelters and shit. And I said something like, yo, you see that shit? Like, I ain't never seen none of the bars do that. Boom, the tweet went viral. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, there's more fucking retweets on this shit than I have followers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it showed me, like, again, shit can catch wind. Yeah. And I think that alone is, like, people want that. They want that. I didn't have to work for it. It just happened, the story. But, yo, the people who put the time in, like, they have a lot more to show for it. That experience is fucking priceless, bro. Like,
and they build a foundation.
Yeah. Bro,
exactly.
Like, bro, I took the time to do a little bit of everything. I'm not going to say I was the greatest at everything, but I took a little bit of time. Like, I started writing rap. So I'm like, cool, well, I need to learn how to record myself. I'm like, cool, now I know how to record myself. I should probably learn how to make my own beats, right? So I learned to make beats. I'm like, cool, well, I need some kind of fucking online fucking web store or some shit. So boom, you create your website. You're like, cool, well, I could sell merch with this. I could this. And plus you start offering your services. You're like, yo, I'm gonna come through. I'll record you. I'll make beats for you. You know what I mean? I got my camera. I'll shoot some music videos for you. Like, whatever. I took time to explore all of that shit.
Yeah.
All of that shit. And a lot of that I don't use no more. A lot of times I'm like, I'm not recording people no more. I'm not making beats no more. Every now and then I'll write a rap on my phone, but that shit don't get recorded. But the fact of the matter is I can always go back to that stuff. And it's another hobby, and I feel like it keeps you so you don't exhaust yourself on one thing. Like if you're a musician, like I highly recommend picking up video games or something to help you balance your time. Because if you focus just on music, you're gonna drive yourself fucking crazy.
Exactly. Bro.
You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna lose the passion for it.
We were having that talk because we were talking about how we're doing I'm doing podcasts and shit. And it's like, dude, I never thought of doing this. Like,
it took him a while to get used to. I was like, dude, just sit down, just do it. It's really easy. It's fun.
But it could be like music oriented and related, and it's like you're saying, like you just learn another aspect of it to where like now, oh fuck, now you can think about music podcasts and try to make something original out of that, like unique.
And the game's constantly changing. You can create some new shit. Like when we saw COVID hit, I saw motherfuckers get so creative with the way that they were doing their live streams and the way they were, you know what I mean, just coming about shit. And it just, motherfuckers pretty much created their own online radio shows for local artists during COVID. It helped them build their traffic up. It helped them fucking give motherfuckers a platform to be heard in different cities and different places. Like, this shit was dope. It opened a whole new world, but there's nothing like the live show experience, in my opinion.
Same here. I feel you.
So I didn't get the same kick from a lot of these things, but to see shit like Versus, like the Versus battles were so ill. This was like bringing back a lot of our childhoods, and just, it was like celebrity deathmatch almost, but with music. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. I remember that shit.
So shout out to Versus, but you saw motherfuckers get so fucking creative with it and do what we had to do during that time. So I'm curious to see what that's gonna do now that live shows are back. Like, motherfucker, we gonna see more holograms? Are we gonna see like what are we doing with this technology? Because there's gonna be something that comes from it. Even if it's just every event coming with its own live stream now.
Most likely.
Being able to tune in across the world, but I don't know where we're at currently with that. Like, I know we're starting to bring shows back and stuff, but kind of got my fingers crossed that we don't go back into another
I was just about to say that, because the Delta virus is like spreading again, and then wintertime's around the corner, and I feel like everybody's gonna get sick and spread it again.
I don't know.
So I think just right now, get everything out of the way before wintertime, you know, just in case. You know?
But we're in a very, very like critical time right now, so it's hard to do some of the things we want. I see some people cashing out, like. There's major festivals cracking. Like, I don't know if y'all seen that Lovers and Friends flyer, bro. That shit, they brought back everybody.
The old school shit, like the 2000s and 2003, like fucking Sean Paul and like all that shit. Bro, Usher, dude, that shit looks lit.
So that shit's some wild shit, bro. Like that is some wild shit. And I don't know what the future of this shit's looking like. I don't know if these festivals are going to happen, but I got my fingers crossed that not only do they happen, but people remain safe and we really get back to normal. Because, you know, we're a couple events in since we've gotten this, like, pocket of time to do so. And nobody's got sick. Nobody's gotten hurt. Nobody's really made too much of a fucking... we haven't seen much of a difference than, you know, the things we were seeing prior to COVID. But... I do know it's not the smartest idea to try to do as many as possible. Like, you might be able to get away with one a month if you bring some extra sanitizer and, you know what I mean, adhere restrictions and shit. But it's not the time to, I think, be at an event 7 days a week. I think the size of venues matters right now. The size, the amount of freedom people have to kind of get their own space. If they choose to be in the middle of a crowd, they can, but at the same time, You know what I mean? Given the option to
limited capacity, like super.
And we saw that. We saw the fire marshals normally do the fucking the venue capacities, but in Ventura County they had the police chief take over during all of that. So they dropped capacity in a lot of the venues. So a lot of the venues that were 400 or 500 people are now like 250 to 3. You know what I mean? Like somewhere in this pocket. So it gives people more elbow room and stuff, and makes. It
actually sounds kind of better for me,
right?
Especially for me, like a person that hates being crowded, where you have to move, please. You know, like fucking like walking through. I hate that shit. And they're so deaf. They're just looking at. I'm like, all right, I gotta start shoving people.
But
that sounds fun.
Giving people more room to fucking keep their distances if they feel needed, if they're not vaccinated, whatever. But I see some people there. Like, I think these motherfuckers selling canopies and fucking, hey, come get a fucking tent for the entire weekend and watch fucking Usher and all your fucking all the Cougar Bar classics.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, it's weird to see, and it's good to see though. It's healthy. I think it's healthy and it's much needed. I'm tripping. I want to see the fucking what the future of events looks like, because it's gonna be a trip.
It definitely looks like it is. Speaking about shows, I noticed you mentioned earlier you help out like a lot of female rappers. Why is that? Like, is there a certain reason for that?
Shit, I was raised by my mom, bro. I was raised by my mom, and I have little sisters. So working with females, because we also do the modeling thing, like the model management stuff, and we get to hear a lot of the stories, and you know what I mean, like. Just people trying to take advantage of these girls, and when they're trying to come and do their art thing. So one of the things that we always offer, especially at our shows, is you don't have to feel weird about shit. You know, you're here for business, and we're gonna take care of you like you family.
And you respect their talent. It's not like so like trying to get them in just because the guy like kind of likes them more. Because I've heard stories where a girl goes to a show and the guy's like trying to get at her too, and then after that he takes her off the show. So like there's stuff like that, or then they say, oh, she's hard to work with, and then ruins her name around like the whole spot.
And see, that's our thing, is we work with a lot of fucking strong women, and especially when we do the modeling thing, and we just make sure that they're taken care of. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
They don't have to worry about that with us, and I think there's so many dope women out there, and to be honest, like. Our generation coming from the 90s, like, I don't know if y'all watched that Woodstock documentary the other day. Woodstock 99 documentary.
I don't think so.
Oh, we wanted to see it. Came out already?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see that shit.
It's fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. But like this festival, it was like 3 deaths. 3 deaths.
It was so gnarly.
8 rapes. Hundreds of sexual assaults, multiple fires,
mad destruction.
Fucking, they tore the whole place up and blamed that shit on Fred Durst. But
that's the one where he fucking went crazy on.
He's like, let's break stuff, huh? Break stuff.
So this movie's mad controversial, and like I see a lot of my event homies going back and forth over little things, because the event organizer wanted no part of any of the fucking the blame. He just wanted to blame everybody, and it was just this whole
I've been wanting to see that shit. I forgot. I didn't realize it came out already.
It's a good fucking documentary, bro. Definitely.
When I saw that they made that shit, I was like mad nostalgic. I remember that shit.
You know how they marketed it though? It was crazy. It was like they started with like Woodstock, was it 69? The original Woodstock, they're like peace, love, and music, and then they're like, then we brought it back again in '94, and it was like peace, love, and music. Then we tried to bring it back in '99 and had people like Korn, Limp Bizkit, fucking all these people on, bro, fucking riots, dog. Like motherfuckers were burning the vendor booths because the food was too expensive.
That? No, well, I seen a little bit of it because Marcos would show me.
But because the food was too expensive, motherfuckers were burning shit. They
water bottles were like fucking mad expensive, and it was so hot, and everyone was like dying.
Bro, they broke the pipeline to the fucking bathrooms and shit, like the septic tank thing. They busted that thinking it was like the water tank. Motherfuckers are rolling around and pissing shit and fucking flooding the area where all their tents were, and you know what I mean? Like it was fucking horrible. I'm sure fucking motherfuckers had a great time. If you went to the concerts probably, but my point being, watching that shit was just fucking it was fucking wild, bro. Like hundreds of sexual assaults was my point. Girls jumping into the fucking like stage diving and stuff and getting passed around the crowd, and motherfuckers like there's footage, and you just have to watch the footage, man. Watch the footage. But this was pretty much what we hear from the homegirls on a regular basis, but like pushed to the greatest extreme.
Yeah.
You got to see it all just in this one documentary, bro. And they use this shit to promote. They're like fucking boom. It was just, you know, worst concert stats ever. And then they're like, hey, but you know what's a safer alternative? Fucking go to Coachella.
Yeah.
The end of the documentary is just like a promo for Coachella.
Are you serious?
They're like, there hasn't been any deaths at Coachella. We give you free water at Coachella. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was fucking, it was wild, dog. It's wild. But that's a good example of when I say that, like, the sexual assault part is like the shit that women go through. So we try to create a safe space for everybody.
That's cool, yeah.
And,
Respect
you know,
to that, bro.
Another one is like more of the street rappers. I know a lot of people are very skeptical on booking certain artists. They're like, nah, they're a gang member. They're with a crew. They're this. Like, I feel like one of the cool things that we've like accomplished is being able to bring in different neighborhoods and then be there specifically for the art. No problems, no nothing. I have not had one single fight at any show that I've ever put together. None of that shit. So the safe space aspect, being transparent with the crowd, fucking creating an experience for everybody. So women especially, you know, we know what they go through. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and break down the list, but they go through a lot and they deserve the credit. So that's what we try to do with the platform.
That's sick, bro. Yeah, because I seen that you work with a lot of women like Zay, Kiddo. We mentioned Vel 9.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you're able to give them that platform just because, like you said, like some people get pushed to the side or they'll take them serious, you know, and they're really talented. Everybody that I seen you work with are really talented.
You know, a lot of one of the things is people like to we have different, you know, taste and when it comes to content, you know what I mean? And a lot of these women nowadays aren't giving men content that's meant for them, you know what I mean? So a lot of fucking dudes will like attribute that to being whack, but these girls are killing it, bro. They're the biggest influence on the fucking just the creative arts world that we have, bro. And they deserve their just due. And you know what I mean? We coming from the 90s, we had artists that were very, not just misogynistic, but vocal about, like, they do not fuck with female rappers. You know what I mean? Sean Price being one of them. What? That's one of my favorite MCs, but he was very vocal about, not that they suck, but he's like, I don't fuck with them. Like, it's not for me type shit.
Oh, yeah.
But he would go on interviews and just rant about this shit. You know what I mean? And but we saw fucking a change in the scene. I mean, women have always been killing it, but we seen them really step in the front and start creating cultures within this shit. To where it's like, bro, they deserve their fucking roses. Like, I'll be honest, like, these women are fucking bodying this shit. Like, the way that it was meant to be done, you know what I mean? Like, again, I gotta tip my hat to the Snow the Products, to the Reveries, to the Gavlins, the Vels, you know what I mean? Blimes, fucking Gifted Gab. Like, there's so many queens out there just setting a fucking example for these dudes, bro. They stepped in the front. They've always been dope in my opinion, but they stepped into the front and now they're creating culture, and that shit deserves to be fucking celebrated.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, there's some dope women on the come up, and but the same could be said about every subgenre or every label that people try to put on them. You know what I mean? There's just so many people creating right now, and I'm hyped to see what's to come, man. Yeah. I know a lot of people been working like during the whole COVID thing, and let's just say for worst come to worst, we do go back into a lockdown. That's just more time for them to create.
Yeah,
we're gonna hear new sounds. We're gonna see new fashion. We're gonna see new everything. Just start fucking. You know what I mean? Because people are motherfucking what's the word? People are fucking resilient. That's what they are. You give them a fucking struggle situation and they'll come out with flying colors, bro. Yeah, haven't learned a few lessons.
You think they'll be able to like create a way to give a live experience, like actual live experience, but without being there?
I think so. I think it's gonna be like some on your phone shit, like fucking set your phone down and a big fucking hologram.
Like hologram shit.
Yeah.
I think the future, like if you can figure that one out, you're gonna be a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
That'd be so
VR
dope.
though. VR was. Didn't they do that shit where like you could put the VR and then like you can see that you're in the front row of a NBA game or
Right.
something like that? So like I think VR.
Coachella, like last year's Coachella, they sent like a little box, right? And in that box you can put on these glasses that was kind of like a 3D thing to put on your phone, which was a VR, and then it was like you walking in last year's Coachella. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, bro. It's some shit, bro. Like fucking technology is crazy. So I don't know what the future holds, but what we saw during COVID, again with the versus battles and the things like that, like I'm wondering if they're gonna start doing that in person. I hope they do. The versus battles where they're like, yo, we're gonna do fucking this artist versus this artist, but live.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Y'all can come out and fucking hear
That'd
the
be
whole,
dope.
the whole discussion. Y'all could chime in, like make it an experience like that. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what
Did
they're
you
gonna do
used
with
to
this
battle too?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. How was that? Because I feel like, I like growing up, I got picked on a lot, so like I started like obviously fighting back.
Mhm.
But, like when someone like starts talking down on me, it just triggers something in my head where it's just like, like something in high school. I mean, you see me, yeah.
like,
So like I can't, So I can't imagine battling someone. He's just you with the poofy hair, man. But it's like motherfucker, like this was really embarrassing me right now. Like,
Bro.
how is it like?
I don't know, man. I got thick skin. Like I love roast. I love talking shit. Like
Yeah.
it's so funny to me, bro. Like me and the homies would just go live some nights and just talk shit to each other on
Yeah.
the internet. You know what I mean? Like it's fun, bro. And when I was battling, this was like when grind time was like peaking, like the peak of grind time,
What year is this?
like 2010, 2011 ish.
Okay.
So grind time, I would say from like 2004 to 2000, like 10, 11, you know. But when
And grind time is like, what's that?
this was one of the bigger battle rap leagues back in the day, but I don't know, the battles were shorter, so they were like 60 minutes to 90-second rounds, and it was more of like a comical approach, like getting in there and talking shit to promote albums and whatnot. Well, once that shit started like going viral on the internet, all these leagues started sprouting up, and it just kind of went crazy. Like you can live off battle rap alone now. You don't need to make music. You don't need to have
shit.
anything to promote. Like
I
this
didn't know
motherfucker's
that.
pulling fucking more than 6 figures off this shit. You know what I mean? Like
How is that though? Like, so there's a grand prize at the end, or
every league is different. There's a lot of tryout leagues where cats will pull up and just battle for essentially for the footage. You know what I mean? Though, like I'll take a free battle just because it's shit for my resume. There's people who start earning off this. They do live events. They do live streams at events. So they sell like a pay-per-view for battles.
Fuck, like a sport? It's
yeah,
a sport
yeah.
now?
For real. For real.
That's tight.
This shit is crazy to the point where
is it like, do they stream it on Twitch and they make money off of that too, or something?
most people like now we saw with COVID, motherfuckers are getting on certain apps. Like I know like URL is I can't think of what the app is called, but they're on a certain app. King of the Dot's still on like YouTube, and they're starting new formats and stuff. But my point being, like I came into battle rap when grind time was kind of at its peak, and battle rap was still more fun. So if you look back on my old battles and shit, it's more comical. Like we're sitting there talking shit about each other's girlfriends and fucking you're fat. I don't know, but there was more of like a comical aspect, like talking about somebody's fucking character. These days, this shit evolved into a whole new, like motherfuckers just want to prove they're the better rapper. And
So it's just like the flow, like
yeah, battle rap to me was more of entertainment for the crowd thing. You go
Yeah.
into a room like with some room shaking ass fucking bars, like that was the energy for me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how the footage comes out. I'm probably gonna share it once and forget it exists. But you know, I would how would I say this? I was more into the live show aspect, especially in pit format. You have people in a circle
Yeah,
around you. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And like It was just fun. So I linked with a battle rap league called Daily Duels, and it was kind of like a tryout league, based out of the IE, and LA. So I got in with the LA chapter. But shout out to my dude Lex D, Crazy K, Know It All, fucking the homie Knock Steady, all these people who put together this like entire culture of cats that would just come together and talk shit to each other, on and off the internet. And through this battle rap shit, I met most of the producers that I've worked with on my projects. Yeah. I've collabed with like hella the artists.
You're also networking.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you went in there and it was more like a thing, like we would go to the parking lot before an event, talk shit to each other, like fucking, you know, how you been, pussy, fucking whatever. Go into the event, everybody talk shit about each other on camera, go back to the parking lot, talk shit about each other, go home. I'll see you next time, bro.
Yeah.
But it was like a community of friends that just had thick skin, you know what I mean? It was competitive, sure, and like politics start popping up, people start having issues with each other. You can't keep everybody fucking happy, but for the most part, everybody's like family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shit's, it's just dope, bro. It's dope. Like, you don't need music to survive no more. You can literally do this shit off battle rap alone. So
see, I didn't even know that.
And this shit's in every country, bro. Like, you go to Mexico, they got some of the biggest battle rap leagues in the globe, bro. Like, fucking, they killing it, bro. They killing it in Mex right now. The Spanish battle rap is fucking huge.
I gotta look that shit up.
Yeah, for real.
There's a bunch of YouTube, I bet, huh?
Speaking about that, did you grow up like with like a majority like Mexicans or something?
Only Mexicans.
Yeah. Because I noticed your style, the way you approach, it's like that type.
I grew up in Peru, man. Again, it was a small fucking town, but I was like the only white family in town at one point.
Oh, really?
And
that's probably why you got thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Widow?
That's where the roasting comes in, man.
Yeah.
But it's all love, though. And like, that's, again, it's, fucking growing up in Peru, like that shit had a heavy influence on me. Because I'm Slovakian, bro. Okay. I'm nowhere close to being Mexican. But
that's why I wasn't sure. I was like, fuck, he could be Mexican. I mean, look at fucking.
I grew up, my parents worked all the time. My parents were always like gone. So it was kind of me and my 4 siblings raising ourselves. And when you're in middle school and shit like that, you know what I mean? And like, I'm not saying we were poor, but we were definitely below means and shit. So I got really comfortable with living with the community almost, you know what I mean? Like, fucking everybody pretty much lived at my house. Like, all the homies and everybody knew. It's just one of those places where we took care of each other. Because my parents were fucking always fucking working or just kind of out the way, you know?
So you had the house to yourself.
So yeah, like I'm my style, the way I talk, everything is very like so fucking Peru, bro. I'm a cliche motherfucker from Peru, but that's where I got my flavor from.
Yeah. And are you big on sports?
I used to play baseball. That was actually what I wanted to do.
Of the Dodger right here.
I growing up, I wanted to play baseball. Like, I played baseball through fucking I'll say like halfway through my high school years. But I was a dope fucking pitcher, man.
Oh, shit.
I was a dope pitcher. I had all the schools scouting me and shit. And I never really warmed up. I kind of had coaches that really exploited the fact that I had this nasty curveball. And I hurt myself. So by the time I'm 18, bro, I can't lift my arm over my head.
No way. You threw it out or something?
I've been needing surgery, dog. And
Still?
I hear once you get it, like your shoulder done, like your shoulder's never the same. Yeah. Like, you're just gonna have to learn to live with it, and it doesn't bother me for the most part.
Just never lift your hands up. You're like,
you know,
at the crowd, you just always
like, put your hands up. You're like.
But there's days though where I feel like I can't move my neck though. Like,
no way.
Like the back of my ear to my shoulder blade.
It's your right arm?
Yeah.
And have you ever tried doing like therapy or something? Just to, like, you kind of like.
I've tried like the door thing, you know, you put your arm up the door and slowly go up and shit.
It just hurts?
It's like super fucking tight, bro. And there's days where it just sore for no fucking reason to where I feel like I can't really do much. So there's days where I'll just lay in bed. I'm like, you know.
No way,
I can't move this hand back. That's as far as it goes.
I was like, you just fucking breaks it?
I broke it, and then I took the cast off too early. And then my mom took me to some fucking lady in Mexico, and I don't know what the fuck she did, but she just grabbed my arm, was like, But it never got fixed.
We gotta take you to Mexico.
Shit.
There's fucking ganking on
Don't
it.
go. I don't recommend it.
Oh my god. I guess that makes sense because like I fucked up my left shoulder from boxing because I hit the pad wrong one time and like popped it back. And I just remember after that, like every time I flex it like that, I just feel this. It's just like grinding.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
You can hear
it pops every time. It's just popping.
Anytime I flex my shoulder, I
Yeah.
can hear it. It sounds like your tendons are just like ripping.
Yeah,
like,
bro. Yeah.
It's so bad, dog.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
Speaking about high school, you were big in graffiti, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened when you're a senior? You got to stand trial for what?
Oh, for graffiti shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole thing for like a year, like from when I was like 18 to like almost 20, in and out of court every month. And every month it was more like a checkup, like, yo, we're not ready yet, we're not yet ready. It was
It was that big?
they
Like,
were
what'd you
building
do?
a case
Just
on
fucking-
me because Piru and More Small, man. But this is basically like the same two towns, right? And graffiti this shit was alive, bro. Like all the billboards, everything was just constantly covered in town. And
Yeah.
it got to a point where literally like growing up, the graffiti units fucking would park at this little church across the street from my house because they knew everybody would come to my house and kick it.
Damn,
So,
they're watching you guys.
it was a whole thing. And then one day, like, just in not so many words, that they found a lot of shit at my house, just, you know what I mean? And they didn't have anything on me. That's why the whole entire thing got thrown out. But it just extended over like a year and a half. You know, one of those like, oh, you're off probation when you're 18. And then they're like, no, the fuck, you're not. They kept me on for a whole another year and a half because they were trying to find something. And they're like, we
that's
got
annoying.
it, we got it. And at the time, I wasn't doing shit. Like, I know everybody's like, I'm innocent, but I'm just like literally focused on music. I was fucking terrified to leave my house. I was like, bro, I do not want to leave because every time I leave, they pull me over. I'm not dealing with cops. I'm sitting home. I'm making my music.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. Like, I don't fuck with nobody no more. Nobody, like, you know what I mean? So it was just one of these things as a young kid where they used it to kind of set my life back a little bit.
They just want to fuck with you at that point.
That was it. And like, again, as an adult, I don't have an adult record. Everything was a juvenile, you know what I mean? But it was like a whole thing that I had to go through growing up. And the only thing it really did that like really hurt me was it held me back from going to college like a year before I wanted to. You know, I wanted to go like immediately out of high school, and I was like, well, can't do that right now. Can't leave the fucking county. Like, you know what I mean? So it took a whole nother year for me to even get into the college and shit. So it set my life back a little bit, but
that's probably why you wanted to fucking get out of town too. Go backpacking.
Small town shit.
You're like, I just want to go to New York. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I grew up in a neighborhood that, like, again, everybody knew where you lived. You know, you had problems with somebody, they would knock on your door. There was no running from your problems. And it was probably a good thing, but I'll never move back to a small town again. I'll never do that shit again.
I used to. Well, I don't know if you know where Santa Cruz is. Yeah. So
So you're from 805?
Yeah. No, Watson. 831.
Okay. Oh, they changed it.
Yeah. So Santa Cruz is right there next to San Jose. That's the 408.
Okay. Word.
Yeah. So I'm from Watsonville, and that's a small ass town where everybody knows each other. Everybody knows where pretty much everything that goes on. Everybody knows each other's business. I go to a fucking store with my mom. She's like, "Oh, I went to high school with her." Like, you know, that type of shit. So I know that feeling of a small town energy. Where everybody knows where you're at.
Everybody's related, somehow, some way, or know somebody that knows somebody. So whether you know each other personally, you know their Instagram bio by heart, basically. Everybody knows each other, man. You know where everybody fucking lives. It was cool. Because, again, I feel like that gave me a sense of community. That gave me getting to, I think when some people are kind of sheltered, and I don't even mean sheltered like that, but I mean they don't really get the chance to really experience people, you know. Like, there's some people who just never went to a friend's house a day in their life.
Yeah.
They're like, we see each other at school, we see each other here, but we've never kicked it outside of any of this. You know what I mean? So they only get to experience one side of people. So growing up in such a tight knit community, you knew everybody's business. You knew what was going on, and you had the opportunity to fucking empathize, I guess. You know what I mean?
Feel
like,
big in a.
You know, when you're like
thing than what you really are. Like,
homie's going through it. Like, let me invite him out for a night.
Yeah.
Let's get away from the bullshit. You know what I mean? So it gave me a sense of community in that sense. But again, if you want to keep your business private, like, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't recommend it. People gonna know, and if they don't know, they gonna assume, and that is just the in and out of a small town, bro. Just they gonna assume some shit about you.
So what do you feel like is the difference between, like, I mean, you obviously live in Louisiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
And New Orleans as well, or is this just you're just in that
I spent
area?
a lot of time in New Orleans, but I was based out of Lafayette, Louisiana, about like 2 hours north of fucking New Orleans.
Okay, so would you say, like, because obviously you loved it there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you moved back.
Food is fire.
Food is fire.
Food is fucking fire, bro. They can cook in the sun.
Yeah.
Their barbecue.
Yeah, I'm a big foodie, so I'm
Fuck with crawfish.
I fuck with everything.
Crawfish and fucking gumbo. Fucking the fucking shrimp po' boys. Fucking jambalaya. Like, they cook down there, bro. They cook down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. It was different, but not really. You know what? We're probably gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I grew up around Mexican people, right?
Mm.
So getting to live around Cajun people, I was always like, damn, y'all remind me of Mexican people. Like, the way that you're like super about family and y'all like hold each other down, and like families, like when there's a birthday party, everybody's there. You know what I mean? Like,
big ass family, huh?
like, my family was so like divided growing up. When you'd have a birthday party or something, it'd be like 7 people there, and I see these people like, yo, it's fucking homegirls graduated first grade. Fucking, there's 3,000 people here. Fucking, yeah. So getting to see the big family, like, again, it gave me the sense of family more, like the tight. I'm gonna make them all word, tightnicity.
Tightnicity.
Fucking,
I swear that was a word.
You know
I
what
thought that
mean?
was a word.
It might be, but I'm gonna take credit for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So,
But would you ever, like, move back? Like,
I don't like the weather, bro.
no, it's
It
just
rains
too
like
gnarly.
3 times a week, and it'll go from like sunny fucking day to like tornado
Oh,
warnings
shit,
in
for real?
seconds. You know.
So Cali is the best spot for weather.
For sure,
Oh,
sure.
yeah?
We don't know what rain feels like in Cali.
I've been told that before.
Well, up north where I'm at, it does rain a good amount,
Yeah.
but like it stays balanced.
In Louisiana, it rains so hard that you'll start getting like little red
Oh,
spots on you.
shit.
The
What the
raindrops are
fuck?
falling so hard, bro. We don't
Damn.
know rain in Cali. Like, when all the cars on the freeway slow down to like 15 miles per hour, put their fucking hazards on because it's raining so hard.
What the fuck?
It feels like there's a flood, bro.
chucking them
Like,
at
I didn't even know that's even possible to
Yeah.
fucking get like marks on your
it
foot.
rains,
That's
and
fucking wild.
it's at random. It's a good like 2-3 times a fucking week. It's very humid down there. The springtime is fucking fire. Like, it feels like you're in Ventura when spring comes
To
around.
just only
But
go in spring. That's
Very hot summers, very cold winters. It actually snowed one time while I was out there. I don't think they get snow regularly, but they got snow one
and
of
that
the years I
weather
was out
sounds
there.
fucked up.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
They have all the seasons. Like, we don't have all the seasons in Cali. We have hot and cold. Like,
That's it.
we're the shower handle of the U.S., bro. It's just fucking hot and cold. Fucking, but yeah, bro, like these other states, like, you know what's crazy? We did a tour. What was that? Like 2018, 2019. We did a tour with Self Provoked, and it was just like four cities, right? We did like Orange County, Vegas, Oxnard. We did Ontario. But anyways, we did all these different cities, and these cities are so close. You know what I mean? We're like, it was just easy to do. But tell me why we saw every kind of weather imaginable. When we went to Vegas, it fucking snowed. Out of all the fucking times, like,
Yeah.
it's so hot in Vegas. You would never expect it to snow out there.
I didn't even know it could snow.
We went to fucking Vegas in February, and the one day ever, they're like, it never snows in Vegas. Y'all come here for a show, and it just fucking snows.
That's crazy.
Like, we fucking drove through rain with fucking speakers and shit in the back of the fucking truck trying to make
Was
this
this
tour
recently?
happen.
This year?
This was
it's like
2018, 2019.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and oddly enough, we called it the Good Juju Tour.
Really?
The Good
Oh
Juju
my
Tour was
God.
self-provoked, but yeah, man, we drove through literally every kind of fucking every kind of weather to make this tour happen, and it was crazy. Like everything was so close. I didn't expect that to happen, but that's what it felt like in the South.
Yeah.
Like it fucking snows out there, bro. So,
That's crazy, bro. I didn't know that.
yeah, bro. But
I'm over here thinking the way you like talked about earlier. I was just like, man, that's a good spot to live. Why'd you leave?
I don't know, man. Like I loved the South, but I grew up in Cali, bro, and I always say Cali fucking ruined me. No matter where you go in the world, like there's some beautiful places. Every fucking state, country has its own beautiful something, but there's no place like California, bro. We're a melting pot. Everything's here. This is what I know, and I always know at some point I'm always gonna come back to Cali. So I might move away for a year or go here to make this move happen. Whatever makes sense at the time. But I'm always gonna end up coming back home. Like that's just the. Y'all gonna have to bury me somewhere here, bro. Like it's just, yeah.
Do you think it's wise to like be, I guess, in LA somewhere for something that we're doing, like podcasting, music, all that? Or
my thing about LA is it's so the housing market's so fucked up because everybody wants to live there. I love LA, but I wouldn't do that to the locals because me moving in means their rent gets raised higher. So I think it's like a thing where truthfully, I think a lot of these cities, like, people need to start learning to sacrifice and start building up these smaller communities. Like, again, Bakersfield's gradually fucking growing. Places like Palmdale are gradually growing. Like, they're starting to build housing and stuff like this, but we need to spread it out and make the sacrifice of driving to
further.
support each other. like it's
Yeah,
That's what I was
tripped out. You came out from
Yeah.
Bakersfield.
yeah
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
originally I thought you were coming from LA,
Right.
and then when you said 2 hours, it's like
yeah
Bakersfield. Is
like
is
not
that
to
Bakersfield?
not to get all political. Like, you can move to LA if you want to, but my thing is, like, I love LA, but I wouldn't move there simply for the fact that they still have things that they need to fix between locals and the growth of the fucking places. Like the whole gentrification behind is fucking heartbreaking, bro. And I saw this growing up in Peru, Elvis Market. This is where I used to do my homework as a kid. When I moved in, she saw like a white family move into town, and she assumed, oh, you guys moved into those nice new houses. And she was kind of like, like, y'all snobby people. And then she found out, yo, you moved into Old Town Peru, into a little old dirty house down the street. And she was like, oh, fuck, you're one of us. Like, and after that, she took care of us. But I had to listen to this woman my whole life talk about how she doesn't want them to rebuild because it's going to raise rent for everybody.
Yeah.
She would have petitions, like, you would go in, like, right on the fucking counter, like, petitions, like, they don't want to rebuild, they don't want it this, they don't want it that. When she passed and her husband passed, like, driving by the city now and seeing all the houses that are getting built and all the things that, like, the locals were, like,
Pushing
against
strong,
so hard growing up are now changing. And it's fucked, bro. And that shit's happening in every city, every place around the world right now. Not just, California, but again, our dollar goes a lot further in smaller communities because we get to help build up their economy and create opportunities for those kids in those neighborhoods that might not have a ride to LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I love about the IE is not only is this, like, festival central, like, shit fucking not sitting right around the fucking corner, but you have small promoters and people throwing shows that are out of bars, out of fucking pizza spots, out of parks, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's life here.
Yeah.
And that is something that needs to be preserved, and it needs to grow. Like, it needs to catch that traction that it deserves. Because I tell everybody at every show you come to, I'm like, if you like what you saw here, take it home with you. Go do that shit in your city.
Okay.
Like,
Have you ever done anything in Riverside?
not in Riverside. We do the Happiness and Pursuit Festival in Ontario every year, and then we've made Ontario just like a regular tour stop. Yeah, honestly, as far as the IE goes, as an artist, I would do stuff. What was that cafe that they used to do shows at in the Riverside? I've performed in Riverside. I've never like
Tobacco Lounge, the Vibe.
I think
it was where I
think it's
Evolve
the
used to do
Vibe.
shit. You remember I Evolve, the battle rap league?
I know.
They used to do the battle rap shit and have live performances and comedy and stuff like that. But they were based out of here, so I'm trying to think of what that fucking lounge was called. But they used to do events there. So I've performed in Riverside. I've never thrown a show
Downtown
in
Riverside?
Oh yeah.
That was in downtown, yeah.
But yeah. So the
I think
IE,
it was Romano.
there's fucking life here though. There's
Yeah.
life here, bro. Fucking again, the Knot Center right around the fucking corner, just pulling up like there was ass everywhere.
Yeah.
I know everybody's like half naked out there. Yeah.
Hey,
It's-
shout out to Ray's, man.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like there's life everywhere in every culture, in every, genre of music, fashion sense, what people are doing, photography, fucking videography. Like there's cultures in Cali, and we need to help. Like we can all contribute to one economy and just make a whole fucking, like, say, extend the Knot Center all the way to fucking San Diego and everywhere in the middle, just one big pit. Or we can create our own, in these different scenes, give artists the ability to travel, to tour, to push their merch, you know what I mean? It's so dope that, artists like Zay, again, she works her fucking ass off, that she can set up her own tours.
Yeah.
She don't need management for that. She could set up her own tours just based off the strength of the people she knows. She could bring artists with her. You know what I mean? Like maybe she meets a young artist and is like, I want to bring her along because she deserves that shine. Artists can now do that for each other.
It's like they have control now.
Yeah. And, we've had shows everywhere, but, think about where we come from when the only kind of promotion for an event you had was the radio. Maybe some people didn't hear that commercial. Maybe you couldn't afford a radio ad and you had to rely on just handing flyers out. We have social media now. We could promote these events. Like, how many people RSVP to go run into fucking Area 51? You know what I mean? Like,
I remember that.
just off the strength of fucking social media now. So it makes a promoter's job easier. It makes getting the word out easier. Facebook and Instagram be hating with their fucking algorithms, but that's a different conversation. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they did fuck that up.
Yeah,
I've been tripping out on that.
But you can still promote and really get your fucking word out. So I think that's the beauty of where we're at now is shit goes viral, man. Shit goes viral. And if people use the internet for its intended purpose and put work into their marketing and things like that shit really starts to pop.
You do a lot of like the paid promotions and all that stuff too?
I can't.
You
I
can't?
can't. My company's called The Gutted Cigar, so by name they think it's a tobacco company.
Oh shit,
Oh,
for
really?
real?
So it's like motherfuckers could pay for weed ads, but they can't promote tobacco, right?
What?
So
That's crazy.
The cigar in my name, I cannot pay for promotion. So, what I do is
Wow.
I spam the feeds, bro. I have my different pages. The somebody told me, they were like, yo, I would rather have seen an event flyer so many times that it makes me sick to my stomach than to fucking look at a show flyer later and be like, fuck, I wish I would have known about that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? That stuck with me. So I'm like, I make sure people see this shit. I'm still putting in footwork with the help of my team. Like, we'll still print flyers and pass shit out, hit up the stores and put
Yeah.
everything in stores.
Leave a stack at a liquor store or
In
something.
high school, that's what I used to do.
Yeah,
used to
we
do that shit
still
for our little
do
bands,
that shit, man. Because hand-to-hand promotion is still fucking a very viable fucking concept. But the fact remains is people don't need to do that anymore with having the internet. So a lot of these people will do strictly internet shit, and it'll be a success every time. They don't need to waste the money on printing flyers and stuff. But I'm like a collector. Like, I don't know if you ever watched any of my lives or anything, but I have a wall with just like vinyl and things that I've collected from shows and things people have given me, banners with signatures and you know what I mean, like just priceless shit behind me. And I'm like, yo, this is my kind of shit. So when I print a flyer, I'm like, can you sign this shit for me?
Yeah.
Can you do this? Can you do that? Just, you know what I mean? I'm a fan of hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
I was a fan coming into the shit. I'm gonna be a fan going out. But it's dope to just, be collecting a little bit, taking something from every show.
Yeah.
Again, like,
Especially with you, you're a hard-working motherfucker, dude. You're everywhere, man.
yeah, bro. We try to work with everyone too. Again, it's like we don't try to exclude anybody from events. So it's not weird to see a live band on a show with MCs at our fucking shows.
That's what I was gonna ask you. He's trying to get on shows, And
What up?
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Like
dude.
a perfect collabo, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because he, like you said, he does, acoustic style.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also learning how to, I guess, sing over
Well,
just
it's
regular
it's the
beats.
first time I'm like experienced or even thought of doing like beats. I've been doing bands my whole life, so like the thoughts of beats were kind of like I never considered them. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did a show recently, and just like I told you, I'm also like I just couldn't, because I'm also about the live aspect, like hardcore, and me myself, I was just like, all right, I'm not skilled enough on the guitar yet to like, I feel maintain like an energy crowd. So like I experimented with like beats, and it actually went like way better than I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like fuck. So it just really like opened up a whole bunch of like like ideas and just.
And that's what I think the beauty of just the Southern California scene is. I would love to build on shows, by the way.
Hell yeah.
But the beauty of the Southern California scene is we have so many like bar shows and things like this available where it's practice.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's crazy is like back in the day, like when you were limited to shows, I remember people were really big on rehearsal spaces. Booking a rehearsal space as rappers, working with the DJ and being like, boom, boom, this is what we're gonna do, practicing their performance.
Yeah.
I don't see many people do that shit anymore. They're like, you know what, I'm gonna use this show as my practice. I'm gonna work the crowd. I'm gonna this. I'm gonna that.
Yeah.
And some of the best performers that I've met never been in a rehearsal space in their life.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's a crazy thought to me.
No, me too. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure as a band, like y'all gotta fucking rehearse.
Yeah.
Like that's a different story. Y'all.
Yeah, no, but I was telling him like now that I'm doing the acoustic stuff, I was like I want to hit up open mics. I hit up a few like open mics, but I'm just doing it as practice, like to get comfortable on the stage by myself with an instrument, because like I can go to the rehearsal space as much as I want, but there's not gonna be people that were like fuck the nerves and the fucking like paying attention to like I don't know like or trying to distract yourself from people who aren't paying attention or who are talking, just like all right, just fucking.
See, that's where I get fucked up. Like when every time I have performed, I've always had like a rap group with me. And when I try going by myself, I can see everybody, the guy that's on his phone, the person that's just talking, and I'm just like, like I just get so nervous, bro. Like I don't know how you guys love performing.
I love talking to the crowd. Like now as the event host, like every now and then I'll kick like acapella, but I don't really perform anymore. So these days I throw events and I just sit on stage all day, and I get to tell you why I booked these artists that I like and how dope I think they are. And it's just like the energy right now when I'm like, yo, I'm chilling with the fucking homies. Fucking, they smoke good weed. They fucking have dope podcasts. Like, they blah, 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 make some fucking noise. And it's just like, you know
Let's
what I mean?
fucking go.
Like, I get compliments on that a lot. They're like, bro, like, that's the dopest intro I've gotten. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I like you, dog. I have shit to say about you. I don't book artists that I don't fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, we can vibe. You know what I mean? I would rather be in a room full of people that I liked than trying to cater to a room full of people I didn't, I guess. You know what I mean? So that's like the basics of that. Like as an event organizer, especially somebody who does so many shows, like I have the opportunity to kind of handpick the artists that I want now. You know what I mean?
To fucking create the vibe of the
I still have like an open booking, like if you're interested, like hit me up type shit, but I don't campaign that as much as I used to. Nowadays I just say like, yo, I got a date available, and a lot of times the homies already tapped in, or they're just really quick to hit me up as soon as that post went up, you know what I mean? So but we do a lot, man. And October we're actually supposed to be doing another show or another tour, if we can stay open that long.
I think November, that's when you're gonna see some fucking spikes, and everybody's gonna
hoping
get
not,
worried.
bro, but we're trying to set up a tour in October, and I want to take the artists that I manage now, Mike Bless, Mark Ford, and OG David James on the road. These three cats are like, it's dope, bro. Like Mike Bless was one of my heroes growing up, and I get to fucking manage him. September we're supposed to go to Arizona for like I think it's like the Arizona Hip Hop Festival. It's some fucking huge festival that got Bless on it. And so we're doing a whole Arizona run in September. October we do Thought Fest, and we're trying to kick off the other tour.
Definitely want to be there for that.
So you know what I mean, like to have those options available. So whenever the world's back to normal, and like y'all can see how it regularly is. Like, it's just a different world. But it's community oriented, just in everybody else's communities as well. So, like,
that's dope.
Donate to something from the city. Support by booking local acts in different cities. You know what I mean, and never charging vendors.
Yeah.
Let the local businesses come out and make their paper.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking sick.
You know what I mean? So
That's the way to do it right there.
yeah. So
One thing I always try to do now before I wrap it up, I always like asking. Well, now it's 2 questions, but one question I always want to ask is if you were to meet, I guess, hang out with someone, dead or alive, you know, you have all day. I'm talking about like, I'm talking about like morning. You guys are like chilling. He's making you breakfast or she's making you breakfast. After that, you guys go to the club, whatever. Like all day, dead or alive. Who would it be?
who would I hang out with all day?
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
I don't know. I was gonna say Mila Kunis, but she don't shower.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a whole thing, bro.
For real?
Her and Ashton Kutcher just, I don't know why they told the media, hey, we don't shower that much and we don't shower our kids that much. That's healthy for us. And I don't know what they said.
Oh, that's like real. I thought they said like they
no,
do
it's some
shower.
weird. It's probably some like tabloid fucking news comment that just everybody's
There's
passing
something
off
like
as
that.
real.
Like if you don't like the
I don't
more
know.
you're like dirty or whatever, you build immune to shit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any legs to that, but I think there is. So,
That's common.
but I would hang out with J-Lo. I don't know, bro. I've had a crush on J-Lo since the Love Don't Cost a Thing video came out.
Ooh.
I miss she roaming around on the beach, like, ooh.
Yeah. That's how you're super like
I don't
90s
know.
kid.
Who
A
would
lot.
I hang out with, dead or alive? Like,
And like it can even be like just anything you want. You can make music, or like it can be something like, hey, let me host an event, and then on that day of the event, you're hanging out with them. It could be anything.
yeah, I'm still gonna say I'd rather be rolling around the beach with J-Lo.
Hey, shit, you could be from the morning to the sun goes down, man.
Yeah,
All day at the beach with J-Lo.
I guess. I don't know.
And then
I hang out with everyone I want to hang out with.
That's
Nigga, I
it.
mobbed all the way from Vegas for to chill with y'all.
I'm
I could
still
go-
fucking tripping out on that. That's why I'm stoked that you came out here, and
Yeah, bro.
it's a pleasure to have you here. I definitely want to do this again with you, dude, because you're just nothing but good vibes.
Yeah, man, I ramble. My bad.
No, that's what I love.
I'll talk your ear off for sure.
Hey, honestly, with podcasting, what I love the most, because I mean, obviously, I'm always gonna be on the next podcast. I want the guests to talk, so when they talk more, I'm just like, hell yeah! Like, I want people that are watching this get to know you.
Hell yeah. It's
And-
my camera.
Yeah, that's your camera right there. Put both cameras on him. And then the second question that I just kind of developed as I was talking, like, if you had any superpower, what would it be?
Superpower. Shit. It's gonna sound cliche as fuck, but superpower to make people happy. That's just extremely hard to do.
Damn.
But it's worth the try every time. So if I had the power to,
I think you already do that though.
I try. I try, bro. Even the nice guy pisses people off, dog. I'm telling you, it's unavoidable, bro. Some people just don't wanna. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All
I'm
right.
glad I met you. I didn't expect to like, cause he just told me about you yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He just mentioned you. Like he's a big fan of like all the. Cause I'm not even in the hip hop scene either, so that's why it was kind of like hard to. But I super mad respect, dude. Like the reason I got into music, I'd always say, is that I have a very stoic family, and the only times I was like growing up that I would like notice, like, dude, everyone is having a good time, was at a party where there was like a live band, and ever since then, that was like shit that I was like, oh, I want to do that, and it was like the same concept as you're saying, it's like to make people happy, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the dopest shit. So
At the end
mad
of the
respect,
day,
dude.
that's
Like,
your job as an entertainer, bro, is to make people happy every show.
yeah.
I mean, I had that superpower, bro. Shoot, J-Lo would be extremely happy.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, man. You want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the entire team: Irie Apparel, Ultra State Refinery, Laugh Mob, The Money Tree, Irene from the shows. My apologies. TGC Models, everybody who helps us keep this shit going, the entire community, the entire world, California, Mexican food.
Hell yeah.
Just the whole nine, man. Support your city, support your economy, spend money where it makes sense, and be happy.
Also check out the merch. You know, I got the one of the shirts going on right now.
Yeah, grab those
Right now,
TGC
I
Dodger
don't wanna put it over
tees,
this,
man.
And then I want to take off my shirt, so it's just like,
I don't know. Honestly, this is like a really comfortable shirt. So thank you.
Appreciate
like,
you,
I'm
man.
like tripping out because usually like people like give me shirts and it's like tight. I'm like, dude, I hate tight clothing. Like, this is perfect. Thank you so much, and thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course.
You
man.
want any? I don't know. I was gonna say, do you want to give any shout outs?
no shout outs.
Roll,
Thank you for being here, dude.
I'm like nobody.
Roland's my co-host for today.
Yeah.
All right, knowing
Hey,
neighbors.
We're gonna do some shows though, ASAP.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm
ASAP.
super down. I'm like I said, I want to do more open mics and like really develop like a set.
Mm-hmm.
And then for sure, dude, like I've everything you said up. I've been telling him like in a way, it's weird that like I came here
Destiny.
and everything you said, dude. Like there's times where I was like tearing up and I wanted to be like, "Fool, that's what we're fucking talking about." Like I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Like hell yeah.
That's
So I'll
dope,
definitely hit you up once like I get some shit going for sure.
Let's make that shit happen, bro.
yeah.
Again, thank y'all so much, and let's do this shit again, man. I love to fucking talk
Yeah, for sure, dude.
and smoke weed. It's an art
Same.
form.
All right, knowing
yeah.
neighbors. We out.
Peace, peace.
Yeah, bitch. What you know about me, bro? Going hard in the game, gonna make a name. Leaving my mark, I'ma leave my stain. Better back up, cause I bring the pain. What you know about me, bro? Got supreme hat, supreme clothes, best breezy, fuck yeah. So fresh, we're high class, bro. What you know about me, bro?